morning, everyone. I'm sorry that I need to speak in English. May I see how many of you can understand me? Great. Thank you. Thank you. خیلی ممنونم.
سابسکرایب یادتون نره.
I'm getting Persian lessons since 3-4 months, but your language is quite diverse, and it's, you know, I like the sound of the language. I can understand more than 75% of what you speak, but for speaking, I'm still shy. So you have to bear with me now. Safa has made the fun part of the speech, but I'm going to make the boring part. I'm sorry for that. Because I'm informed that most of the attendees are from the schools, universities, and mostly beginners of the industry. So I'm going to give you some information about digital advertising. Let me start with a small story. My father, when I was a kid, you know, he was insisting to me to be a medical doctor, and he was saying that it's a guaranteed job. Everyone is going to, you know, respect you, so you can be a doctor, blah, blah, blah. And I became an advertiser. Because while I was becoming an advertiser, I was thinking that it's a glamorous job. You know, whatever you learn from the school, you start your job, and all your life long, you do your job. But unfortunately, it's not like that. It's been more than 25 years. Okay, let's start. It doesn't matter who you are marketing to, you know, business or consumers, B2B, B2C. Today's buyers are interacting with your brand across multiple channels and devices. Plus, they have more expectations than any other buyer generation in the history. Modern buyers want personalized, one-to-one conversation with brands at the right place and at the right time. Whenever they want to reach to something, they want it right on time. If they see an ad, and if this ad is not loading in half seconds, they go off. That's the Google statistics. If your ad is not loading in less than half seconds, and it reaches to 1 second, 20% of your consumers just click on the other part, so that you are losing them. And your buyers expect the conversation to take place seamlessly from your website to her cell phone, on social media, and all the other websites that she visits in any given day, time, moment. Your buyer really expects a continuous experience now. It's a challenge for us, for marketers, for advertisers. The new ad technologies and innovations continue to advance at breakneck speeds, but only these new ad technology platforms, types of advertisements, methods of tracking, dynamic ad content, and advances such as the Internet of Things now provide endless opportunities for us. But all of these new engagements, opportunities can be really confusing. And if you execute it poorly, they can lead to low engagement and irritated buyers. That's the fact. So the goal of my speech now is to provide you a true overview of the digital advertising landscape. And I will try to help you create a framework for engaging your audience within these channels as a part of a seamless conversation. There's a lot of noise generated about digital channels, you know. Everyone is an expert of digital now. I'm not an expert of digital. I'm a beginner. And I want to help you navigate on this route. Okay, I tried to create some relevant content for the marketers or who are considering to be a marketer and using digital advertising in their campaign, which should be all of you. You cannot ignore digital today. And I will provide answers to these critical questions. No, keep it. What is digital advertising? How should you create your digital ad strategy? Which different types of ads do you have at your disposal nowadays? How do you target your digital ads? And how do you design your digital ads? Now we can go. What is digital advertising? Digital ads are now everywhere. They can be seen on the websites, on your mobile phones, on social media channels, and even now on watches. Because the advertising proliferates across so many channels, including very personal content, you need to be more cognizant than ever. And luckily, due to behavioral targeting technologies and platforms, like marketing automation techniques, these continuous conversations are possible. And by leveraging these technologies at scale, you can nurture your buyers in a very personalized way until they are ready to become your consumers. As marketeers, we may feel like we have come a long way with digital advertising, but we are still in the early stages. There's a lot way to go. It's not going to end. With digital advertising continuing to gain momentum, it's more vital than ever before to make an integral part of your holistic marketing mix. Digital advertising creates powerful opportunities to tell the brand stories at scale and in context. Through ads on various devices and channels, marketers can reach larger audiences in a way that is real-time and increasingly personal. Okay, there are three reasons why digital advertising is critical in today's multi-channel, multi-device buyer landscape. First, your buyers are constantly on digital channels. Second, marketers have great targeting capabilities today. And the third, the availability of consumer intent data enables personalization and seamless conversation. I want to stress on the first part. Does any of you not using a smartphone? No. Does any of you are disconnected during the day when you are awake? No. Love it or hate it, you are always connected. Your consumer is always connected as well. And they spend a lot of time online. Those were the days when newspapers, magazines, and billboards and TVs were dominating the buyer's attention. We are firmly entrenched in the digital era. Let me tell you a study from 2014, not from today, 2014. Nielsen found that an average urban in the world spends astonishing 11 hours per day looking at their screens, getting news, looking at the messages, social media, mingling, but 11 hours per day looking at the screen is a big time that you need to utilize for your own sake. So, how should you create your digital ad strategy? According to a study, an ad strategy is a blueprint of how you sell your product or service to customers. But since your company may have multiple products and audiences, you might have multiple advertising strategies. But don't be afraid of that, because most advertising strategies follow a handful of common guidelines that we'll cover in the following sections. Okay, sorry. But in these times of the years, you should consider the current economic climate and understand its impact on your business as well. Not all the products and businesses are recession-proof. Make sure to investigate the history and the major trends in the market that surround your product or service, as well as the correlated risks and opportunities. By having an overview of marketing state, buyer profiles, economic climate trends, and risk, you are in a much better place to create an ad strategy that reflects these elements and is positioned to succeed. Look, go back. How many of you know this visual? This is the first ever digital ad aired in 1996. The first banner that's aired with paid media. So keep this visual in your mind and think where we are right now compared to that. 1996, how many years back? 23? So in the last 2 decades, advertising industry has seen much more advance than any other times of the history. So let's go to your digital advertising strategy, how to build it. Go, please. Of course, we should start with defining the advertising goals. That's very important. And for that, you need to determine the state of the market. Research is the foundation of your strategy. And once you have your success metrics, you can determine what's working and what's not. If an ad is failing, the ad strategy can be re-examined for flaws, and certain aspects can be avoided or adjusted for future campaigns. Or if an ad is doing well, hopefully, you will be able to pinpoint which aspects of your strategy are correlated with this success and then mirror them in other campaigns down the road. So what do we define in our strategy, please? Are you looking for customer acquisition? Are you looking for customer nurturing? Customer loyalty, cross-sell or upsell? Or branding? For example, about customer acquisition, regardless of the type of the organization, is it B2B or B2C, a great measurement of success is customer acquisition or an increase in potential customers. You can easily track conversation success with your ads through various types of managements. Or for customer nurturing, not everyone who sees your ad will immediately go and buy your product. That's why you need to nurture your customers through their buying journey. Digital advertising is a fantastic way to do that. Or customer loyalty. Your nurturing shouldn't stop once someone becomes your customer. You can use nurturing in digital advertising to maintain your relationship and create loyalty with someone who has already become your customer. And of course, branding. Your brand is what makes you unique. Your brand is often comprised of product differentiators, messaging, and a distinct look and feel. Because digital ads are ubiquitous across the web, they can make or break your brand identity. Let's talk about some cross-channel marketing strategies. These kinds of wheels or charts, probably you will see a lot in your lifespans. Starts from acquiring the client, engaging with it, retaining the client, and making them advocates of your brand. So a visible point here, this chart should be in your minds. You will see a lot of these while creating your strategies. And this is a basic planning worksheet of the marketing channels. You can see even the BTL and ATL channels are in here, but when you have this kind of a chart, putting your goals, ad types, messages, supporter channels, and budgets, you can easily plan your advertising that's going to be integrated within all touch points. You can use this worksheet to help you and your team brainstorm how to incorporate digital advertising into activities that you do for each of the marketing channels listed here. It's okay not to use all of them. It doesn't mean that you have to use all of them, but you have to keep in mind that all the channels should be interacting with each other. That's the most valuable part of digital advertising. So what do we have? Which different types we can use in digital advertising? Go, please. Pay-per-click. Actually, this is not something very common in this market, but it's growing now. So in the upcoming time period, we should be getting used to pay-per-click advertising. But display advertising, the banners, are important. Aside from pay-per-click, for many marketers, display advertising is another very large piece in the advertising pie. And in this market, it's the biggest piece. The great part about display ads is the diversity. You can use a lot of different types of media to get your message across your audience, and you can target your audience across multiple devices and channels. The best practices for the static display ads. There are 10 best practices when it comes to static displaying ads. First, you need to have a clear call to action. For example, for this visa, it tells you to go to somewhere. You need to have a great hero image, have a great branding. You know, Visa here, brand studio here, the company logo, including a promotion that's going to increase the appetite of the customer, a headline, and the matching to your landing page from your ad with the call to action button. You have to size it correctly so that it's not going to be like a blank page, and always test your ads. About the mobile ads, since the introduction of the iPhone in 2007, the mobile devices have permeated all aspects of our lives. And of course, because these devices are tied to our hips, it's become like our organs. The marketers have created different ways to advertise to mobile device users, both in-app and on web. In fact, mobile advertising is growing quicker than any other ad space. For example, data shows that in only the United States, mobile ad spending in 2018 was $42 billion, which is 10 times bigger than the overall Turkey advertising industry budget. Keep in mind, it's the fastest growing industry, and you have to put a lot of effort, a lot of time for developing new things on mobile advertising. And of course, please go, social advertising. Actually, when we get a new brief from the clients on digital advertising, it's mostly social media for the moment, which should not be the case, but we are trying to fix it with our clients. But of course, through social advertising, you can target the right buyers and deliver your message on the channels that your buyers spend time on, like Facebook, we don't have it here, Twitter, we don't have it here, but we have LinkedIn, we have Instagram, we have Aparat, we have Tamasha, which we can use on our own benefit. And social advertising is a big, big thing for marketers. In fact, according to Advertising Week, marketers intend to increase their social media ad spend by 70% in the next years. I'm talking about the global brands. Instagram, our only unique tool that we are using today. It focuses on capturing the attention of your audience through rich imagery. This can be a fantastic social channel for brands looking to solidify brand look and feel and create an inspiring relationship between the clients. The key to Instagram is for the brands to make them appear like a seamless addition to users' news feed. Your advertising should not look like an advertising on Instagram. If it's like an advertising, it's more probable that no one's going to click on that. It should be something that's naturally flowing on the timeline. It should be native to an Instagram platform. You can have video ads, you can have albums, but whatever you do, it shouldn't be looking like an advertising. Some of the effective advertising ways is the video ads. The video is becoming an increasingly important content for marketing tactics, and attentions are shorter. Today's buyer love interacting with videos. In fact, according to the Marketing Agencies Association in Europe, viewers of marketing videos are proven to retain over 95% of the information expressed through video. That means whatever you give as a message on the video, more likely your message going to be understood and accepted by the clients compared to the still images. Let's get this, and okay. So, I know it's becoming a bit like boring, but these are very important messages that I need to convey today here. As I told you, today's buyers interact with your brand on multiple channels and devices. Advances in digital advertising have provided marketers with a way to create personalized experiences everywhere their consumers are. Digital advertising is much more than a consumer acquisition channel. By using new ad technology, methods of tracking, dynamic ad content, and innovative ways to target your audience, digital advertising has become a way to nurture your buyers before and after they become customers. That's important. Before and after, you have to keep your communication with them. By including digital advertising as a holistic part of your advertising strategy, you can create a cohesive experience for your marketing across platforms, channels, and devices. Guys, digital advertising is evolving quickly, and as a marketeer, you have to keep up. You have to look for the innovations. You have to follow the world. The ubiquity of the online interaction in today's modern culture demonstrates why digital advertising has become and will continue to be indispensable for marketers. Marketing through these ad channels is key to unlocking the potentials of a huge, expanding and captive audience. One more time, I'm going to remind you, love it or hate it, we are always connected. So please do your advertising strategies according to this fact. Thank you.
به چنل اینور سابسکرایب کنید تا صدها ویدئوی آموزشی رایگان رو از دست ندید.